Okay. Then first, before going inside the problem, so first what we do is what are the indicate denotions they are given and what are the denotions. See, this is the collector fluid that is flowing here. This circle thing is an heat exchanger. So this is a fluid inlet for the collector and fluid outlet of the collector. So TSI is the inlet of the heat exchanger and TSO is the outlet of the heat exchanger. So these are the temperatures. So this is a pump which operates within the heat exchanger and the collector one side. And with respect to storage tank, this is the load outlet temperature. So it is flowing in the opposite side. So if you know see the arrow, you can know that this is flowing in one direction and the opposite direction. This fluid is flowing in the opposite direction with respect to the load. So this is load outlet temperature, and this is TLI is load inlet temperature, and the fluid which is circulated from the storage tank in the heat exchanger is monitored by the pump 2, and the flow rate is given by capital M dot W. So here it is given as the fluid flowing inside the collector and the heat exchanger is capital M dot F. So this is a storage tank at TO. So the temperature at the storage tank is denoted by T naught. So by going through the problem, we'll see what they are given. Calculate the temperatures of the return to storage, that is TLO, we have to calculate, and to the collector TSO. So this is the outlet of the uh, heat exchanger that is going into the storage tank. So we have to find TLO. Then this is the outlet of the heat exchanger which is going inside the collector. This is TSO. So TLO and TSO we have to calculate for the following configuration of solar water heating system that is given in this figure. So the parameters given here are collector loop fluid small stream. So collector fluid is a small stream here. So what is the fluid that is given here is 50% ethylene glycol and water. So this is the fluid water with the 50 percentage of ethylene glycol. That fluid mixture is flowing in the collector. So its specific heat value is 3.52 kilojoule per kg degree centigrade. Then outer loop fluid large stream. So this is the outer loop, that is this fluid which is flowing, that is water from heat exchanger to storage tank. That fluid is denoted by W. So its specific heat value is, as you know, is 4.19 kilojoule per kg degree centigrade. Then heat exchanger data. So Ux is overall heat transfer coefficient and area. So this multiplication of overall heat transfer coefficient and area is 5033 watt per degree centigrade. So Ux will be in the watt per meter square degree centigrade. So when you multiply area, what you get is watt per degree centigrade. So AX is 5033 watt degree centigrade. So that is UAX. Next is number of collectors in the system, that is 30. So 30 collectors are there. So there is a cross sectional area is given as 2 cross 1. So what will be the area? What will be the area of one collector? So one collector is given as length into with 2 cross 1. So what will be its area? 2 meter square, right? So one collector will be 2 meter square. So number of collectors is 30. So the total area will be 30 into 2 into 1. So 30 into 2 into 1 will be 60 meter square collector area, right? So when we go to the problem, see this is the area of the collector as I said, and to calculate this TSO and TLO, what we have to do is we have to find Q dot. First we have to find Q dot. So for finding Q dot, you have to find M dot CF, M dot WCW. For that, what you have to find? We have to find NTU and effectiveness. Effectiveness, NTU. Okay. So effectiveness, NTU, and this will give M dot CF heat capacity and UXAX when you substitute in effectiveness formula. Effectiveness. So Q dot will be effectiveness into M dot CF, that is heat capacity, into temperature difference. So first you have to calculate for water. Water W is for this fluid. Okay, this fluid which is flowing inside the storage tank and the heat exchanger. So M dot WCW is, so we have capital M dot W CW. So what is m dot W is capital M dot W is 0.5 kg per second. Capital CF is 3.52 kilojoule per kg degree centigrade. So sorry, M dot W is this one, water that is flowing in this one. So M dot W CW. So you have to find the capital M dot CW by AC is, so zero point 0.5, that is mass flow rate of water flowing inside the color storage tank and heat exchanger is mass flow rate, and CW heat capacity is 4190 by area of the collector, you get M dot W CW. So this heat capacity, specific heat, we can also write 4187, no problem. Whatever you know the constant, you can write here. So for M dot F CF, small M dot F, capital CF, we have to, for that the formula is caps M dot F CF by AC. So this is for the fluid which is flowing inside the collector and the heat exchanger. So this one heat, the mass flow rate is 0.35 into 3.52 by area of the collector 60. So we get this value. So we have got both the heat capacity of the that is mass velocity of the both the fluids that is circulating in the collector side and also in the storage tank side. So next is we have to find UXAX. So UXAX, when you calculate in terms of area of collector, we have to divide it by area of the collector. So UXAX is given, so 5033 by area 60. So we get this one, 83.88 watt per meter square degree centigrade. Though NTU formula, you know, this is small ax. So this one is capital UXAX. The value given is capital UXAX. So when you find ux small ax, we have to divide it by 60. That is area of the collector. So substituting this value in this NTU formula, you get NTU. So next is to find B. B value, you know the already you know this formula. So B is ux small ax into 1 by m dot cf minus 1 by m dot cw. So when you substitute in that B's formula, you find this 1.6836. It is a non-dimensional number. So this substituting this B and NTU value in effectiveness formula, you get the effectiveness of heat exchanger. So effectiveness of heat exchanger is this one, epsilon equal to 1 minus exponential minus B by 1 minus m dot f cf by m dot w cw into exponential of minus B. So while substituting the NTU value and UX small ax value and m dot c m dot f mw cw value, we find the effectiveness of heat exchanger. So that is 0.9140. So while substituting effectiveness and this m dot f cf and the temperatures, given temperatures, we find Q dot. So how we are finding the total heat transfer rate from small stream to large stream? So from small stream to large stream, this is the inlet for the small stream. This is the large inlet for the large stream. So the effectiveness of heat exchanger multiplied by mass velocity of this fluid flowing inside the collector loop and the heat exchanger. So that is 20.53. So effectiveness 0.914 into 20.53 into, so 65 minus 60. So this inlet of the small stream and the inlet of the large stream. So this is the difference, overall difference in the temperature difference in the system, right? So while multiplying effectiveness into mass velocity of the water that is flowing inside this loop into overall temperature difference, gives you the heat transfer rate of the total system. So heat transfer rate will be this one, 93.82 watt per meter square. So what we should find is, we should find TLO and TSO. So how you will find TLO and TSO? So overall heat transfer rate we have found out. So the difference between this line and this line will be equal. Okay, so the heat transfer rate also will be same, but the temperatures will vary. That you would have studied in heat transfer and heat exchanger problems. So when you write a general equation for this heat exchanger, Q dot will be m dot f cf TSI minus TSO equal to m dot WCW into TLO minus TLI. With that equation, so for taking one equation, that is for small stream side, if you write Q dot equal to m dot f CF into TSO minus TSI, so from that we can find TSO. Respectively, for TLO, the same equation, Q dot equal to m dot WCW into TLO minus TLI. So we have to find TLO from that. So Q dot you know, TLI you know, m dot WCW you know. You find TSO and TLO from that equations. So from that we have found out TLO and TSO. Any doubt in this problem?
No, sir.
Everyone understood how you are finding the outlet temperature of the small stream and the large stream?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So this is one kind of problem. So next is to find another. This is a see. This is a equation for finding heat exchanger factor for winter conditions. So heat exchanger factor, for finding heat exchanger factor, we will write the equation for, one second, heat exchanger factor. You will write the equation. You know this is the heat transfer. Heat absorbed, useful heat gained by the collector. This equation we have, last class we have did a problem on based on this equation. Last class we did this problem with this equation. So in that they have added only the, what is F for heat removal factor. I am right. FR is heat removal factor. Am I right?
1 minute.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, heat removal factor FR. So for sorry,
Plus ஒரே நிமிஷம் பார்த்து எஃபிஷியன்சி ஃபேக்டர் சொல்லுங்க சார்.
efficiency factor.
ஆமாம் சார்.
இல்ல FRன்றது collector heat removal factor. Collector heat removal factor, Siddharth, that is. Okay. So Q dot is a Q useful heat gained by the collector. So this is a heat removal factor. So when you see this is the input minus this is the output. So this is the useful heat gain. So FR into alpha tau. When we write this FR as a common, you open a square bracket f for square bracket alpha tau I minus UL TFI minus TA. TFI is the inlet fluid temperature of the water or fluid that is flowing inside the collector minus ambient temperature. So this is the Q useful heat gained by the collector. So for a small collector, flow rate capacity, the outlet temperature from the collector can be written as, so when in the outlet temperature of the collector can be written as TFO. That is, when you write heat transfer rate for a collector, inlet fluid temperature minus outlet temperature into heat capacity. So from that outlet fluid temperature can be written as this equation, TFO equal to TFI plus Q dot M dot F CF. So in that equation 5.10, when you substitute the value of Q dot as said in equation 5.9 in 5.10, here if you substitute this formula, what you get is Q F for alpha tau I minus F for UL TFO. So TFO minus Q dot MF CF minus TA. So when you write the TFI value, also if you write TFI value here, so sorry, this yeah, I have said inversely, I guess. So if you write the TFI value in substituting in this equation, you get this value, this equation. So TFO minus Q dot MFCF minus TA. So in this we have to substitute this TFI value here. So if you get this equation, and if you substitute, if you divide it by here, so if you take and if you do mathematical calculation, sorry, mathematical steps, you find f for alpha tau I minus f for UL TFO minus TA. So if you take this multiply to this both value, both terms, and if you get it in bottom side, you go this by steps. So f for alpha tau I minus f for UL TFO minus TA by 1 minus f for UL m dot CF. So this is a Q dot. Then next step is when you consider a negligible heat loss from the connecting pipe between outlet of the collector and inlet to the heat exchanger. So this when you, this is TFO, this is outlet of collector, and this is TSI. When you consider this TFO equal to TSI, what is that? There is no heat loss in the piping system. So TFO equal to TSI. So TFO equal to TSI. How you write TSI is the same equation we have solved the problem here. So the whole heat transfer rate will be the difference between the load input and the small stream input. So from that we get TSI. Okay. If you consider TFO negligible heat loss from the collector pipe, so TFO will be equal to TSI in this equation. So TSI, if you substitute this TSI value here, you get this equation, and you do mathematical steps, you get the equation as this one, the 5.14, I guess. So this equation, when you consider TFO equal to TSI, you get this equation. And the next step is when you consider TLI equal to TO. So the load inlet temperature is equal to the storage tank temperature TO. Then what will happen? Then what will happen is, so TLI equal to TO. In same equation, if you substitute TO minus TA. So here TLI equal to TO. So the last equation can be written as q dot equal to fx. So the fx value is 1 plus frul by m dot fcf 1 by epsilon minus 1 whole inverse. So when you write this fx as a factor, heat exchanger factor, this is the heat exchanger factor, then the equation of the useful heat gained by the collector will be termed as this equation. Okay, this is a derivation for heat exchanger factor. So Fx is the heat exchanger factor. So Fx dash is the winter heat exchanger factor, which is noted by Fx into F4. So this is the derivation for heat exchanger factor. When you go through the equations, we can find the derivations easily. So next is natural convection heat exchanger. So natural convection heat exchanger is when you see this bottom diagram. When you see, I'll zoom it up. So when you see this diagram, we see natural convection heat exchanger. Before that, we have pump inside in between the storage tank and the heat exchanger. But here, whatever the heat collected from this tank, from this collector, it is flow through an coil in the storage tank. Directly, it is exposed to the storage tank without any secondary fluid. So there, the mass of the water that is stagnant in this storage tank, there is not any flow in the storage tank. So what will happen? This is a stagnant system, and only there is a flow in the collector loop. So the for that equation is for that that is heat transfer coefficient is this equation. So with that, how we can solve the problem, we can see. So calculate the effectiveness of heat exchanger and heat exchanger factor for the parameters of figure 5.5. That is this figure only they have given 5.5. So the parameters are circulating fluid, that is the fluid flowing inside the collector is glycol solution. Next is specific heat of the particular glycol solution is 3.517 kilojoule per kg degree centigrade. Next, FRUL value is 5.069 watt per meter square degree centigrade. Next, average net heat flux collected by the collector, that is Q dot 230 watt per meter square. Surface area of the heat exchanger is 10 meter square. This heat exchanger is surface area is 10 meter square. So when we calculate m dot f cf, so m dot f cf only given in the data. So m dot f is 0.024 kg per meter square second. So kg per second. So this is small mf, that is mass velocity. What is mass velocity is mass flow rate is kg per second. Okay, when you divide it, when you multiply it by velocity, what will happen? It will happen to kg meter, sorry, area divided multiply by divided by area, it will given us mass velocity kg per meter square second. So mass flow rate is kg per second. Mass velocity is kg per meter square second. Mass velocity is division of mass flow rate by area. So this is kg per meter square second. So when you multiply this m dot f, small m dot f, that is fluid that is flowing inside the collector loop, m dot f into given cf, you get 84.41 watt per meter square degree centigrade. Is it right? Can you calculate that value? So did you calculate and see the value is right? The value is right or not? M dot FCF.
Correct, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is M dot FCF, that is heat capacity of the fluid that is flowing inside the collector. And the area of the collector given here is 36 meters square. Okay. So area of the collector by heat exchanger will be 3.6. So AX 10 meters square and the area of the collector is 36 meters square. So when you divide each of the when you divide each other, you get 3.6 value. So the equation which is given here in 5.19 may be rewritten for the following problem. As you see, Q dot, the heat transfer rate between the collector area, that is Q is a net heat flux collector per unit area, unit collector area. Then the heat transfer through the heat exchanger to the water of the insulated tank can be written as Q dot AC equal to UXAX del TX. So Q dot with respect to area per unit area, Q dot AC equal to UX, that is overall heat transfer coefficient of the heat exchanger into area of the heat exchanger, and the temperature difference inside the heat exchanger and the storage tank, that is del Tx. So when you substitute this equation in equation 5.19, so Ux if you take on one side, and if you substitute Ux, that is H is equal to Ux there. So Ux power 5 Ux equal to, so this will become Ux. Okay, H will become Ux. So del Tx, if you take del Tx from this equation, what will happen? QAC by UXAX. So when you substitute here, what will happen? Del Tx will be Q dot AC by UXAX. Here Q dot AC by UXAX. So when you calculate that formula, so when you follow some mathematical steps, you get Ux power 5. How it comes? Ux power 5 equal to 142 power 4 Q dot AC AX. So when you substitute Q dot AC by UX AX, here already the value is inside here. What is that? 0.25. 0.25 is 1 by 4, right? 1 by 4. When you take Ux, when you substituting this del Tx value, you take Ux from here to this value. From here, already H is equal to Ux. So 1 Ux will be power 1. And Ux 1 by 4, when you transfer it this side, when you take this side, it will have 4. It will come in upper side. So Ux power 4 into Ux. So what will happen? Ux, so upper in superscript 4 plus 1, 5. Okay. So this will be Ux power 5. Then Q dot AC by AX LO will be separate. When you take this 1 by 4 outside and multiply this here, 142 power 4, 1 by 4, you get 52.7. So when you take this 5 power 5 this side, the whole term will be 1 by 5 here. So this power 4 will come here, and what will be happen is 5, if you take this side, it will be 142 4 by 5. So 52.7. So this 1 by 5 will be for this whole term. When you take when you write this equation and see the mathematical steps, you can understand as I narrated. So this will be easier only when you think over it, you can get it. So this is the equation for Ux for this particular problem. So Ux equal to 52.7 and Q dot AC by AX. So Q dot is 230 as given in the form in the data, and AC by AX is area of the collector, that is 36 by area of the heat exchanger, that is 3.6. Length of the collector. So length is given here. So length of the heat exchanger. So or storage tank. So this is 125 meter as given here. So 125 meter. So length of the heat exchanger is 125 meter. So you get UX as 76.92. Already you know the NTU formula. So UX AX by M dot F CF. So UX is 76.92. So AX is how you get AX, small AX. So AX is AX by, that is inverse of what you get before. So if you have the formula for AC by AX. So AX, small AX is heat exchanger area by collector area. So that is 10 by 3.6. Okay, 10 by 3.6 is same 1 by 3.6. So if you substitute this formula and you get NTU 0.2531. Okay, so substituting effectiveness NTU and NTU in effectiveness of heat exchanger. So how this equation has come? See, the equation from this case we have taken. Second case. Okay, when one fluid, that is collector fluid flow is higher than the water, that is here for this case collector fluid is flowing and storage tank fluid is stationary. So second case we have taken as this equation, effectiveness equal to 1 minus exponential and minus NTU. So NTU also we have calculated UX AX by M dot C. So from that help of that case, we have taken this equation and solved the effectiveness. So what is the question? Effectiveness we have found out, and heat exchanger factor is this we have derived here. Heat exchanger factor is Fx equal to 1 plus FRUL m dot F CF 1 by into 1 by epsilon minus 1 whole inverse. So FRUL is given in the data. So FRUL, when you substitute here m dot FCF, also we have 84.41 you have calculated, effectiveness you have calculated, and substituting everything we get heat exchanger factor. Okay. So any doubt in this problem? Any doubt in this problem regarding to this equation? I can tell you one more time also. If you have any doubt, you can tell me.
No, sir.
Everyone understood this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then we'll wind up today's session. So next class will be about this heat collection in a storage tank. So stratified storage tank and a well mixed storage tank. So next, so with that we see some problems. That is data, how the data is when you extract data from experimental setups. So from what the data, how we will calculate the storage time and outlet temperature and effect of heat load. So we will see this in next class, and also we will see the type of solar water heaters, that is natural conduction, forced conduction already I have said, and integrated collector storage system is there, and drain back system is there, drain down system is there, anti-freeze system is there, and also there is refrigerant solar water heaters. So there are many types of solar water heaters, and regarding that problem we will see in next class. So these two sections and the types of that collectors. So we will see in next class. When is your assessment period getting started? 8, 8, 6, I guess.
Yes, sir. Next week, mostly.
Okay, 8, 6 to some date is given, right? I will see it.
15, sir.
Okay, okay. Okay, then today's class, how many of them attending? Okay, well, okay, full attendance. Okay, nobody is absent, right? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.